Imagine a haunted house that doesn't just scare you senseless. It tugs at your heartstrings, leaving fans in tears amidst the thrills of Universal Studios' Halloween Horror Nights. That's the unexpected magic behind the new WWE-inspired attraction featuring the Wyatt Sicks, a group born from the creative genius of the late Bray Wyatt. But here's where it gets controversial. Is blending wrestling lore with horror entertainment a brilliant tribute? Or does it blur lines between fantasy and reality in a way that some might find unsettling? Stick around, and you'll discover why this house is unlike anything you've ever experienced in a theme park. The Wyatt Sicks lineup perfectly embodies the eerie vibe of Halloween Horror Nights. For those new to it, think of it as Universal Studios' annual event where haunted houses and scare zones bring chills to life under the lights of the park. With their unsettling masks and towering physiques, these characters, Uncle Howdy, Ramblin' Rabbit, Mercy the Buzzard, Huskus the Pig Boy, and Abby the Witch, look like they stepped straight out of a nightmare. This year, the group has claimed their own haunted houses on both the East and West coasts, fulfilling the dream that began long before their on-screen debut. At Universal Orlando Resort, the attraction dubbed WWE Presents The Horrors of the Wyatt Sicks kicks off in a scene of utter chaos, mimicking a violent rampage backstage at a wrestling event. If you're a WWE fan, you might spot echoes of the Wyatt Sicks' explosive introduction on WWE Raw last year, a moment that felt like a live TV horror show. For newcomers, it's clear from the start that this isn't your typical spooky fun. It's plunging you into the twisted world of Windham Rotunda, better known as Bray Wyatt, whose creative alleyways were always laced with darkness. Wyndham's younger brother, Taylor Rotunda, also a wrestler going by Bo Dallas, shared with USA Today how this house was one of his siblings' deepest aspirations. He talked about it way back in 2008, even before he dreamed up Bray Wyatt. Taylor recalled, explaining that at the time, it seemed like an impossible fantasy. Windham, a former WWE champion, was deeply passionate about horror, infusing it into every aspect of his career, from the creepy Wyatt family stable to his solo persona as the Fiend, a masked figure that felt like horror incarnate. He embraced a macabre. Interestingly, Mike Aiello, Universal Orlando's Senior Director for Entertainment Creative Development, is a huge wrestling enthusiast. He connected with Windham after posting about The Fiend's debut in 2019, sparking ongoing chats about horror, wrestling, and potential collaborations. Tragically, Windham passed away unexpectedly in 2023 at just 36, leaving everyone shocked. But as Aiello noted, it wasn't the end. His vision lives on through the Wyatt Sicks and this groundbreaking house, which stands apart from all previous Halloween Horror Nights attractions. So, who exactly are the Wyatt Sicks? This wrestling faction draws from Wyndham's wild imagination, first appearing as puppets in his Firefly Fun House promo videos on WWE, a series of eerie teasers leading up to the Fiend's reveal. Each member is thoughtfully portrayed by a wrestler. Uncle Howdy by Taylor, Ramblin' Rabbit by Eric Rowan, a former Wyatt family ally, Mercy the Buzzard by Dexter Loomis, Huskus the Pig Boy by Joe Gacy, and Abby the Witch by Nikki Cross. Windham personally selected each one, crafting a group that feels like a family of nightmares. Their full-fledged debut last summer was described by Aiello as a haunted house unfolding on live TV, with the members emerging from shadows amid fake blood and gore. This pivotal moment reignited talks, turning Wyndham's dream into reality. And this is the part most people miss. The emotional depth isn't just in the scares. It's in how it honors those no longer with us, like Windham and fellow wrestler Jonathan Huber, known as Luke Harper and Brody Lee. Universal Orlando's version of the horrors of the Wyatt Sicks guides visitors through the group's TV introduction, winding through the Firefly Fun House and themed rooms dedicated to each member, plus a nod to the old Wyatt family compound. Eric Rowan, reflecting on it, said walking through brought a mix of joy and sorrow. Smiles for the memories, tears for the losses. the house is packed with subtle nods, like a white sheet mask, reminiscent of Rowan's Wyatt Family days, or a grandfather clock stuck at 7:13, marking the stable's WWE debut in July 2013. My brother's mind didn't work in simple stories, Taylor explained, suggesting that repeat visits will always uncover fresh details. Dexter Lumis, who once worked at Universal Orlando while training as a wrestler, laughed about spotting a vintage poster of his past match against The Miz, only to find he attended many Halloween Horror Nights events back then, never picturing himself as part of one. Guests will encounter live scare actors embodying the Wyatt Sicks and The Fiend, but notably no one portrays Bray Wyatt directly. Aiello insisted on this. We only use Windham's own footage and voice for Bray, keeping it authentic. A lantern in a rocking chair, echoing Windham's iconic prop, symbolizes his enduring presence. The fans, lovingly called Fireflies, are woven into the experience too. At matches, they light up phones like glowing insects in the dark. In the house, they're represented through starry lights, a firefly mural. Windham was a talented painter, and even a full-size scare actor. Bringing fireflies to life physically was incredible. Taylor beamed. For Dexter, it's a profound shift. After 20 years in wrestling, he gets goosebumps when their music plays, feeling like Windham and Jonathan are watching over them proudly. Fans aren't the only ones moved. Ramon Peredoa, show director for Universal Orlando's creative development, notes how guests often leave in tears, overwhelmed by the tribute. As a wrestling fan himself, he collaborated with Aiello, designer Nick Collins, and WWE's Rob Fee to craft this unique blend of terror and emotion. Structurally, it's a haunted house, but it's so much more, a heartfelt homage that we've never seen before. But here's where it gets controversial. Some argue that turning a wrestler's legacy into a scare attraction romanticizes death and horror in wrestling, potentially glamorizing darker themes. Is this a respectful celebration, or does it risk trivializing real grief? Yet it's not solely for die-hard fans. Eric Rowan, a horror buff, calls it pure terror, and Peredoa ensured it's accessible, hoping newcomers walk out eager to explore the characters more. Jump scares abound, like The Fiend and Uncle Howdy bursting out together. A powerful reunion of Windham and Taylor. It feels like he's right there with us in WWE and beyond, Taylor shared. With more of Windham's stories waiting to unfold, this house is just the beginning. What do you think? Does mixing wrestling with horror elevate both, or does it cross a line into exploitation? Agree or disagree? Share your thoughts in the comments below.